evening. What I've got here is an oak tree, little thin spindly thing, and I want to really talk about what to do with oak. Now, I've never really talked in these videos about my experience. I'm not an experienced bonsai expert who's been doing it for 20 years and been to Japan and stuff. I'm really learning. I'm learning, and these videos are just about me sharing my journey, my bonsai journey really, that's all it is. I love doing it, and I want to share what I'm doing with other people. I love watching videos on YouTube, you know, and I don't just like watching the experienced people, which I do love. I like watching normal people doing work on their trees, and that's kind of the idea of what I'm sharing. So I've got a little oak tree here, and one of the things I discovered fairly quickly was when I started working on trees, I bent them up at the top, up here. The branches are thin, you can bend them, wire them, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm wiring, I'm doing it, I'm loving it. But what I realised eventually was trees are no good when they're dead straight and then they move a bit up at the top. You've got to get the movement down at the base. That's why people collect these wonderful old Yamadori trees out in the wild, and they've already got the character and the movement and the twists and everything. But everybody doesn't have access to those sorts of trees and the areas and places to collect. A lot of people have just got material like this which grows in your garden, you know, if you're lucky to have a bit of space. I did about 3 or 4 of these last year from my sister's garden. She just had little saplings growing, you know. Squirrels plant their acorns and forget about them, and you get little oak trees growing, and they're everywhere. Little hawthorns, little oaks. And it's what do you do with them? And the first thing I'm doing is getting rid of some of this heavy clay soil, just to reveal some of the roots, see what the base of the tree looks like. And actually, from it being a straight tree, look what I've discovered. You've got to get these, there's a lot of weeds in this. I've got to get the weeds out, because otherwise those weeds will just strangle the tree. No good. That's why I couldn't just leave it in this as it was. And it's more that I need to get the weeds out than I need to remove it from this soil, really. Oak trees grow alright in just normal garden soil. A lot of worms in this. And it's really, this is just, I'm doing a lot of poking. I learnt this off Peter Warren. He's one of my favourite YouTubers. A lot of experience. He's worked over in Japan and he just knows his stuff, you know. And he said you stab it, and it makes a lot of sense. You stab it to break the soil up, but without ripping the roots out. And there's some roots on this, there's not loads. But from my experience, on an oak, that is enough roots. At this time of year, when the buds are just about to swell, that's enough roots for this tree to survive. Now look at that. I've already got that, that's a gift. It's a start, the start of that is a gift. Just going to take a couple of little small roots off at the base there. And apart from that, I won't touch the roots now. So, that's the start of my tree. Magic. I've already got this. Look at the taper, perfect. So eventually I'm hoping to chop this probably around here. So I need to get some movement in this section. And that's really the aim now. I've got some wire here, 6.5mm wire. That's thick. That's thick wire. I don't need too much of it, because I'm only bending this section. I'm not interested in the top section. It really doesn't matter. So again, as I did in the hawthorn video, it's much easier to do this with the tree out of the pot, because this is stiff stuff, this. I've got a fairly strong grip and this really tests me, but I don't need to bother with the bottom, that's already bent. So now it's a question of locking that in with my thumb and then working round like this. Twist, 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 like that. There we go. Gym pliers, love these. These are a gift off my friend Steve. He got me a load of tools. He's a good friend of mine. It's really appreciated. And so now I just need to put something in that, and I'll see if I can do it with just one wire. Now it's naturally going this way, so I've got it a bend and a turn. So ideally now I'll turn it back that way. Fairly low down. And I want to get this bend low and tight. You know, I want there. So that's got some decent movement in it there now, that. There we go. And that's it. That's my wiring. I'm not interested in this. It doesn't matter. I'm going to let that grow. Those leaves will feed these roots and build this root system up. And then in the future, this will be chopped here, maybe there, I don't know. And this is the tree. But that's the key. Getting that good bend low down. A bit of movement that way. There's not a lot, but it's a bit. That way. So I'm just pushing that across so that I can swing that round, and that's adding a bit more movement in that direction. And I'm going to plant this in the ground. I could put that in a pot, but they just do better in the ground, trees, and I know if I put this in the ground with some nice soil around it, this is going to survive, and I'll dig it up in a couple of years, this will thicken, this will hold, and I'll have something decent to deal with and work with. So this is my approach to oaks, to get good material. Not got much more to say on that other than thanks for watching. I'd say thanks for your comments. I've not had many comments on my videos, or to be fair, I've not had many views on them, but it's happening. I got a comment today, I really appreciated it, and that's not why I'm doing it anyway. I'm just doing it to share what I love doing, keep me busy, keep me out of trouble. Thanks for joining me. See ya.